Alright, I gotta talk about another mug. If you've seen my other video on the Snow Peak H300 mug, you'll see that I'm crazy about finding gear that's top quality and does its job right. That Snow Peak mug feels like my around town mug. It's light, small, keeps stuff stupid warm, and looks like it's chiseled by an artist. And if that mug is my around town mug, then this other mug is my at home mug. It's my leisure mug. If I were Mr. Rogers, it'd be the sweater that I changed into from my work sweater mug. And this mug blows other mugs out of the frickin' water. It's just so dang good at keeping hot liquids hot. And I did some really solid, totally scientific, accurate lab stuff to prove it. Let's get into it. Today we're going to be talking about the Stanley Classic Legendary Camp Mug. I have it here in the Hammerstone green color, and it comes in all sorts of other unique colors, both shiny and muted like this. I've been rocking this mug since 2020. With almost over 3 years of testing, I have put a good amount of miles on this bad boy and can stand behind my statement here. This mug will not disappoint you. If anything, it's going to present you with the new issue that you will want to get rid of all of your other home mugs and replace them with just this one. So your cupboard will just be one mug, which if you're a minimalist, I guess that's not a problem. But you'll be using it all the time, so your cupboard will be virtually empty. So I guess it's more of a space-saving solution and less of a problem because now you have more cupboard space. You're welcome. Let's get into the specs. It's a 12-ounce or 0.35-liter mug. I have never needed more than that amount of liquid when drinking one particular beverage at a time, so I'm very happy with the amount of holding power. It's stainless steel, BPA-free, double-walled, vacuum-insulated, and dishwasher safe. It weighs 0.7 pounds, and Stanley claims that it has the ability to keep bevies hot for 1.5 hours, 3 hours cold, and 15 hours iced if you got cubes in it. Last but not least, Stanley has a lifetime warranty. They replace them if they don't hold up, and that's just dope. Now, I've used this cup nearly every single day for nearly the past 3 years for my morning hot beverage, and I've poured cold stuff in it during the summer seasons as well, and it's done swimmingly. I keep coming back to this mug time and time again, largely because it keeps things hot, but not too hot. I pour my morning dandy blend in there without a lid, and it just settles to the perfect temperature for the entire time I sip out of it. It's never too hot, and it doesn't get cold in the time frame that I'm actively using it in. I wanted to see how it holds up to other mugs, so I did a little at-home, super legit science stuff test to pit it against a few other mugs. I've got a Yeti tumbler, the Snow Peak H300, and a regular old ceramic mug for kicks and giggles. Here's what I found. So to start my experiment, I laid out all my test subjects, did some super sciencey chart stuff where I could write down the temperatures where they were measured at very specific times of 5-minute increments to see how fast they all cooled off. I put a somewhat average amount of water in each, and I used a very high science grade meat thermometer to check the temps. I started off with the water that I boiled in my electric tea kettle to a point of roughly 182 degrees, and then I used my Casio timer watch to start the experiment. I checked in at 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and 20. At each increment, I measured the test subjects and documented the findings. At 5 minutes, we saw a pretty dramatic drop-off with all of the mugs, with Stanley taking the least temperature drop, the current scoreboard putting Stanley at the top of the charts, with Yeti and Snow Peak tied for second. When the 10-minute mark came around, we saw Yeti take a dive to 139, Stanley still holding strong at 147, the ceramic mug at an abysmal 129, and Snow Peak taking second place at 141. Moving into our 15-minute mark, we saw Yeti drop to 129, Stanley nearly 10 degrees higher at 138, and our ceramic mug settling down at 122, and our Snow Peak cup doing dang well at 132. Now for the long-awaited 20-minute mark. Yeti finished at 122, Stanley at 130, the ceramic mug at 114, and Snow Peak at 124. Now, the almighty internet, after querying what temperature is hot water good at, decrees that humans like to drink hot water at the ideal temp of 130 to 160 degrees Fahrenheit. Now, this proudly places Stanley at the top in charts and at the perfect sipping temperature. But here comes the perfectionist perspective that I tend to have in every one of my videos. This mug goes the distance, but if I had to change something about it, it would be the accompanying lid. The lid does not seal shut. Give me a lid that closes fully somehow and I'd be a happy camper. Other than that, the mug itself is a truly stunning piece of gear. I thought I would be bothered by the handle being so geometric, but it actually suits the aesthetic of the mug, and Stanley as a whole. It fits perfectly in my hand, so I can wrap my paws around it to get a little heating on the palms. And if you want to get a mug for transportation or in your car, don't get a mug. Get a thermos. This has a handle, and it's beautiful because of it. The lid is a nice feature if I want to walk it somewhere outside and not get any splish splash, or if I want to get my mug near a construction project and don't want to get any debris in it. I don't travel with it, though. Alright folks, that's all I got for you. If you dug the video, I hope you'll consider leaving a like down below and subscribe in the name of science. And if you want a home mug that will look like and would probably succeed at surviving a nuclear attack, try the Stanley Legendary Mug. The truth is in the name and it won't disappoint. As always, I'm Milotash. Thanks for watching.